Good afternoon, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Hi, everyone. How's it going? Can you guys hear me? Video is all right. Hope everyone's doing well. Let me just shift over a bit. Hey, Saeed. Hello, Mr. F. Hi, Michaeli. Hi, Jacqueline. Hi, Manifi. Hi, Gertie. Hello, Agnestica. Hi, Jose. Nice. Good to see a good group of people in the chat. Everything is okay. Good. Fahudi, hello. Good. Well, nice to see everybody. Welcome to stream number 27. Shout out to our partners in Mexico at UTS and CCPM. Wondering if maybe some of their students are in the chat. But yeah, wow, 2 a.m. Maya, very late there. Only 3 o'clock in the afternoon here in Vancouver. We're going, we're having a cold spell here in Van. It's a little bit colder than usual, but I am hoping for some snow on the mountains because I love snowboarding. So I'm really looking forward and counting down to the season. Hi, Priya and Khalil and Oliver from Dominican. Nice. Hello, hello. Good. Well, I guess we'll get started. We're going to be, I'll be talking for an hour here, 3 to 4 o'clock. We're going to be reviewing more modals of certainty, and this time focusing a lot more on the past and present and continuous. So yeah, we're going to be practicing with all of that. So we'll get started. Let me change my screen. So what are some things that you guys have done today? What have you done so far today on this beautiful Tuesday? All different times for you guys. So maybe it's early morning, maybe it's very late. Yes, Maya, I love the mountains. And we have we got our first snow 2 nights ago on Grouse Mountain in North Vancouver. So, well, all 3 mountains, they got some snow. So fingers crossed that the snow will continue to come, because soon they will start spinning the chairlifts. Saeed, you gave up smoking today. Wow, congratulations. That's a good thing. Good for your health. Manifi, you have done your homework. Or if you say I had my homework done, that means somebody else did it for you. Hi, Revanel. I'm good. Thank you for asking. Gertie, working was so hard today? Oh, no. You must be glad it's over then. Michaeli, you've been reading 1984. Okay, what's that book about? I'm not familiar with that book. It sounds like familiar, though. Maybe, is it a famous book? Priya, you finished working at the office? Good. Oh, Manifi, your student did it for you. Good stuff. All right. Feel free to put more comments in the chat. It's always nice to hear about you guys. But in the meantime, we'll get started. This is my normal speed. Is it too fast? Let me know if it's too fast. I can slow it down a little bit, but I mean, my rate of speaking does change, I suppose, depending, but it's pretty normal, I would say. Okay, guys, so modals of certainty number 2. We're focusing more on the past, but all 3 tenses, past, present, continuous, guessing about them all. Let's look at this little dialogue we see. Okay. So sorry, I'm just trying to get the... Can you guys see the writing? That must be better. Hi, Chari. Oh, it's slow, Khalil. Okay, well, it's pretty normal for me, I would say. But then again, when I'm speaking to my friends, maybe I speak a little bit faster. Gertie, there's a movie based on 1984. It's interesting. Okay. Well, thanks for the recommendation. Maybe I'll check it out. All right, so we have two people speaking here. One person asking about the past. Did you go anywhere during summer vacation, Jeff? And Jeff says, actually, I went to Japan. And speaker A says, Japan, wow, you must have eaten some pretty delicious sushi there. Yes, the sushi was amazing. So here we have our modals of certainty in the past, where we use our modal, must, our auxiliary verb, have, and our past participle, eaten, okay, to guess about the past. And the reason we're using must, we're drawing a logical conclusion that someone who traveled to Japan would have eaten Japanese food, sushi, very traditional there. So definitely would make sense to use a very confident modal, must. Okay? Let's see here. Zakaria Atmani, shout out to you. Is he in the chat? I'm happy. I hope he learns a lot from the streams. Okay. Yes, that's right, Gertie. Almost 100%. 95% sure, confident in your guessing. So when we're guessing about the past, we use what's called the perfect infinitive, okay? So the form is simple. It's modal verb, have, past participle, okay? Oh, okay. Great, Michaeli. I'm glad to have that. I'm glad to have that recommendation. And Cherry, usually if we use a very strong guess like must or can't have, we do back up our guess with some proof or reasoning for our guess, okay? Will have eaten, Saeed, is to guess or to talk about the future and what will happen at a future point, but it hasn't happened yet, okay? For example, by the end of this hour, you will have learned about modals of certainty in the past, okay? So looking into the future with that. Look at these examples. John didn't come to school yesterday. Why didn't he come? Well, he must have been sick. This is a very common guess if someone who often comes to school doesn't come to school. Of course, you could say he might have been sick, he could have been sick, he must have been sick, like this one. Here, it was sunny with a clear sky yesterday. So if you're guessing, it can't have rained last night. So when we're using can't or couldn't have, we're talking about impossibility. So, you know, this is, again, it's opinion. It's opinion, though. So, of course, it could have rained last night, but it's your personal opinion. So if you're waiting for somebody and you're like, where is Tom? We are waiting for him. Where is he? Where is he? We don't know, but we could guess it's possible he might have woken up late. Okay, he still hasn't arrived. Next example, I can't contact her. I can't get a hold of her, we often say. I can't get a hold of her. She could have changed her phone number. Okay, you're not sure. So let's go over to my document now and take a look. I will share this with the chat after, as always. So taking a look, I will share this, and again, we have our degrees of certainty in the past and our form again, where we have modal plus have plus PP, past participle. Let's go through the question here. Why didn't Tina buy the car she was looking at? They sold it to another buyer. If I say that, that means I know, 100% I know. They sold it to another buyer. This is just a past simple verb. This means I am 100% sure, okay? If I want to make a confident guess, then I would say they must have sold it to another buyer. Okay, they must have sold it to another buyer. This is a logical conclusion, and usually I will back up my strong guess, right? So you're 95% sure if you're using must have. You're confident because you know that the seller had another person interested in the car. Okay, so this is just some information that you received in the past. So, you know, why didn't she buy that car? Oh, they must have sold it to the other buyer because I know there was someone else interested in the car. Okay. If I want to make a less confident guess, you know, this is more about just possibility. We don't use can here, you know. Could is what we use for ideas, okay? If it's negative, we can use can't or couldn't have. But if it's positive and we're making a guess, we only use could, okay? Could is to talk about a possible, hypothetical possibility, right? We don't know for sure. Whereas, you know, can is more focusing on ability. So I could say they might have sold it to another buyer, they may have sold it to another buyer, they could have sold it to another buyer. So in this case, I am simply mentioning a possibility, and I don't know for sure, I'm just guessing, okay? So we have the same question here, but we're going to focus on negative ideas. So if someone says, why didn't Tina buy the car her mom showed her? If I want to talk about negative guesses, let me just see something. Yeah, same idea. Negative guesses. She didn't like it. Again, positive guess, or not guess. Positive statement. She didn't like it. You know for sure because she told you. Okay, it's fact. Baram, hello from Kazakhstan. And 864, you can check out the Smrt channel and cruise through it and see all of the different video offers. I know there are some videos on writing, so if you check out all of the offerings, you should be able to find something on writing. Okay, so again, a confident guess. If we're using the negative form, there's no big difference between using can't. I can use can't or couldn't have. She can't have liked it, she couldn't have liked it. It doesn't really matter here. And this is because I know it's impossible, if I'm saying that, because it was white. So it's impossible because you know that she hates white cars. If you know this information, you can give this positive, negative guess, okay? You know, the question was, why didn't Tina buy the car her mom showed her? She couldn't have liked it because it was white. Again, I can do another logical conclusion using must have. It must have been white. If it were white, she wouldn't like it, okay? So making a logical conclusion based on what you know about her color preference. Again, less confident guess, negative. This is possibility. She may not have liked it. She might not have liked it. Okay? We don't use could not. Okay? If it's making a less confident guess. Could not have is about impossibility. Well, Saeed, I can give you another example. For example, your roommate is not home, but you see her passport on the table, and someone else says, hey, did your roommate go to Mexico? She can't have gone to Mexico because her passport's right here. Okay, so I have good reason to think it's impossible that she went there because I see her passport. Okay? She couldn't have gone to Mexico. She can't have gone to Mexico. Okay? When you know, you have proof. Let me go back to Smrt and we'll continue on here. If you are thinking about using the past participle for the verb go, you can use been or gone in American English if you are describing something that is finished or completed, okay? However, if you are describing the present situation, we only use gone, meaning that person is still gone. Let's look. Where is Kazuko? She must have gone to the bathroom. That means she is in the bathroom now. Okay, so you would use gone, not been. Hi, Noir, welcome. Next example. I don't think Beth is at school anymore. Where is she? She could have gone home. Okay, this is a possibility. This means she would be at home at that moment of speaking. Wow, Sarah has a really nice tan. Okay, Sarah's back. So you could say she must have been on holiday. Or you could say she must have gone on holiday. Both are okay because she is not on holiday now. Elena has a coffee. Okay, well, she must have gone to the restaurant. She must have been to the restaurant. Okay, so if it's completed, she's not in the restaurant now, that means that you could guess both situations. Okay, both past participles, been or gone. Okay, so before we go to an exercise in Smrt, I'm going to just go over a couple of the common speaking reductions, okay? So when native speakers speak, they often reduce the modals, like in this chart I'm going to show you. But please make sure you note this is not for writing. This is only something that happens in speaking, okay? Thank you, Chari. That's good, that's good. Good advice for that person looking for that. Perfect. Okay, so we have our past modal on the left, and we have the reduction, what it sounds like in American English. Must have often sounds like must have. Again, it's not for writing, just for speaking. So, an example, your garden, you come home from work and your garden looks different and it looks really good. What could you guess? I'll let you guys put a guess in the chat. This is the situation. I'll verbally give it to you. You come home from work and your garden looks different and it looks really good. So what could you say? What could you guess? If you come home from work and your garden looks a little bit different, it looks really good. Using must have with your past participle. Just give you guys a moment or two. Nanad, my wife must have worked in the garden. Good sentence. Noir, it must have been cleaned by my girlfriend. Yep. So again, just remember, in writing we usually write it like this. But in speaking, it sounds like this. Must have. It must have been cleaned by my girlfriend. Good. Passive. The garden must have been repaired. Don't forget been, Saeed, because you're using a passive sentence. My mother must have done it. Yeah, you could say that. My mother must have worked on it. Brian, someone must have cleaned my garden while I was working. Good. Michaeli, my mom might have taken care of it. Good. It's not proper Manifi. It's better to just do must have, okay, in the writing. Yeah. It doesn't really matter, Michaeli. It's your personal guess. So if you wanted to use might have, if you're feeling not so sure, perfect. Yeah. It is exactly, Eduardo. It's much more informal. Okay, so may have, again, you don't want to write that. May have. It's not proper. It's what we sound like. Okay, so you come home and, for example, you come home and the lights are on. I don't know why, but I could say, oh, my roommate may have forgotten to turn off the lights. Okay, my roommate may have forgotten to turn off the light. May have. That's what it sounds like, but we wouldn't write that. Mr. F, Dad must have trimmed the grass. Good. My sister must have gone to the park. Yeah. And forgotten to turn off the lights. Saeed, your garden is magic. Fair enough. Okay, so may have sounds like may have. Might have sounds like might have. Okay. Next one. Could have sounds like could have. Okay, for possibility. Couldn't have for impossibility. Couldn't have is what it sounds like. Okay. They couldn't have done that because blah, 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 blah. You have a reason, because couldn't have is impossibility, right? So usually it's very sure. It's like must not have. The next one, mustn't have, or must not have. Both are optional reductions. When you're really sure that something is not the case. May not have is what it sounds like in fast speaking, okay, but not writing. And might not have. We contract the negative and the have, okay, might not have. So just some contractions on the table there. Remember, that's not for writing. It's just so you can look through the writing and notice when you hear native speakers saying these contractions, you're like, oh, that's what it is, okay? Let me just give you guys a few questions here. Sorry. I'm going to add to this. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. So, couple questions. Sorry. I want to come down here. Why doesn't it let me go there? Give me one moment. Okay. Paste. No, I don't want to do that. There. Oh my goodness, sometimes I hate this. There. No, I want to come off of here. Forget it. I'm going to do this verbally. Sorry. Let me catch up with the chat. His car is parked here. He may have grabbed a taxi. Good, Mr. F. That's a good example. The actor could have acted well if he followed the orders. Good. Yeah, but that's not making a guess. That's talking about what could have been possible in the past. You're not guessing about the actor. You're talking about what could have happened, right? Noir, can you give me an example what you mean using may in present perfect? And Saeed, please pronounce these. Should not have. Oh yeah, so should not have is about regret, what you shouldn't have done. So should not have is shouldn't have. We shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have. Sometimes sounds like really reduced. Shouldn't have. Couldn't have. Wouldn't have. Yeah. Thanks, Brian. Yeah, I'm going to do it verbally. So I'm going to ask you guys a question. Tell me, Maya, don't worry. It comes with experience, right? You have to just sort of, expose yourself to the language as much as you can in natural situations, and you will start to pick them up. Your ears will start to pick them up. Okay, so if I have a sentence here, let me write it down here. This is annoying because it's part of I'm just going to go up here. There. This is what I'll do. I can't believe you met, who's a very famous person? Beyonce. What do you think we should write here for our modal verb? What's a good modal verb to use in that case? Pedro, welcome. No problem, Maya, of course. May, must. Yeah, must. Pedro, it's a continuation of last week's lesson about modals of certainty, but this time focusing on the past right now. It must have been awesome. Good. We do want to use must because when we're guessing about an experience like this, it doesn't sound very good to say it may have been awesome. It sounds kind of strange because it's a cool experience, so we use a strong modal in this case. It must have been awesome. Okay? Abu, welcome. That's okay. Let me give you guys another sentence. Let's see. Going back, sorry, oops. What could you say here? John have been at the party last night. He flew to Japan 2 days ago. Shari couldn't. Good. Could not. John couldn't have been. We need negative impossibility because of this sentence. He flew to Japan 2 days ago. Okay, so impossibility. Couldn't have been at the party. And again, you can use can't. John can't have been at the party last night. He flew to Japan 2 days ago. In this exact context, it doesn't really matter if you use can't or couldn't have. And this is focusing again, remember, on impossibility. As I said up here, confident, impossible. You know information that makes it impossible, so you can give a really good, confident guess. Okay, let me give you another one. One moment. Let me see. That. What do you guys think for this one? Tim have slept much last night. Focus on the next. He's in such a bad mood and on his 3rd cup of coffee. Good. If you're guessing about Tim, what's up with Tim today? Why is he so angry? Well, he couldn't have slept much last night. Okay? He's in such a bad mood. And yeah, in this case, couldn't, you can use may not, might not. Because you could be a little less sure. That's fine. Tim might not have slept much last night. Tim may not have slept much last night. Okay? If you're wanting to be more sure, couldn't have. And we wouldn't say Tim should have not slept much last night. We would say Tim should have slept more last night if you're talking about what someone should have done in the past. Not really guessing, but more obligation. So far, Pedro, right now we're focusing on negative, yeah, but not all the time. We're focusing on negative and positive. Let me give you one more example, and then I'm going to have you guys do some exercises. Tina is supposed to be here, but she's not. What do you think we should say here for our modal? Tina is supposed to be here, but she's not. She have forgotten. Igor, she might have forgotten. She must have forgotten. She might have forgotten. Yeah. Again, remember, it's your guesses. So as long as you have the grammar, right? It's really, there's no one correct answer in this case. She must, may, might, could have forgotten. Yeah. But we wouldn't say a negative. We wouldn't say she can't have forgotten, right? Because that doesn't match. Good. Okay, guys, let me go back to Smrt. And Smrt always has really good exercises, and I want to go over some of them with you guys. So I'm going to click on the exercises, and I'm going to go down to the second one. And I'm going to have you guys choose what you should say in these different situations. So you have to use the information in blue in order to complete the sentences. So there is another catch. You have to decide if each sentence should be completed in the present, continuous, or past. Okay? Going back up here, before we start, we have our past form, which is modal, have, and PP. Okay. What about if I want to add to your document present modals? What is the form for present modals? Present modals of certainty. Guessing. Just to add. And continuous modals of certainty. Yes, that's right. Modal plus base verb. Okay? And that's right. Here, have is always in the base verb. Yeah. And continuous, what is the form? Babu, good, thank you. Modal plus, good, Gertie, be plus, verb ing. Good. Okay, so just to give you guys a quick reminder on the forms, because on the exercise, you have to decide which is best based on each situation. So let's take a look. Give me a moment here. Back to the Smrt. So decide if each sentence should be completed in the present, continuous, or past. First one is done for us. My neighbor is playing really loud music. Why is my neighbor playing such loud music? Well, they must be having a party. We wouldn't say they must have had a party. We wouldn't say they must have a party because it's in progress. So must be having a party. Next. I saw her in school today. So I know that she can't, whoops, I want to make it a little bit easier for you to say. She can't have gone on holiday. Okay, it's cutting off, but that's what it says. She can't have gone on holiday yet. Okay? Now, next one. What do you think for this one? I'm trying to make it bigger, but I want you guys to see it. She is really tired today. Hi, Vladimir. She may have woken up early this morning. Good. A lot of people say super early. Okay, she may have woken up super early. Super early is very casual language. Yeah, she may have worked a lot yesterday. She may not have slept well. So don't forget not before have. She may not have woken up. Well, you could say she may have had trouble waking up. She may have overslept. Good, good. And again, in this case, you can, of course, with this exact information, you need to use past. But you can also guess about her in the present. She's really tired today. She might be sick. Okay, she might be sick. Present guess. Next one. Their skin is really tanned. Is it small? Their skin is really tanned. What do you guys think? They must have been on holiday. Good, Mr. F. They must have gone on a holiday. Good. Both are correct. Sorry, Manifi, I can't make it any bigger because then you won't be able to see any of my writing. So I'm sorry, it doesn't really work very well. Do you guys think I could say they must be on holiday? They must be on holiday? Tan means dark skin from the sun. They must have gone on holiday. They must have been on holiday. Those are both correct. They must have spent too much time at the beach, Pedro, instead of in the beach. At the beach. But that's good. They must have gone or been on holiday. Saeed, yeah, it is possible to say they must be on holiday because if that's the case, it means that you're seeing a picture of them on social media, for example, and their skin looks really dark. If that's the case and they're still on vacation, then you could say they must be on holiday. Good. Next one. They always come to school and go home together. What could you guess? Nawar, so do I. I'm not that tanned. Well, more in person than on the screen, I think. They could be live together. If you have could be, oh good, Sherry, that's right. They could be living together. They could be living together. If you use present continuous this way, sorry, modal continuous, the focus is on temporary. But you could also say they could live together. They could live together, just keeping it the same. They may live together. Yeah, possibility. Yeah, they could be living together, exactly. If you use be living, it sounds like it might be temporary, a temporary situation. They could be friends for sure. So next one, that woman looks like she is talking to herself. What would you say here? She might be using a Bluetooth. Yep, she might be using Bluetooth. That's good. We don't need a Bluetooth, just Bluetooth. Unless you say headset. She might be using a Bluetooth headset. Pedro, sorry if you're a little lost. Maybe best to, I don't know if you saw last week's stream, but that will give you a lot of context as well. Last week's and this week's together. She might be using Bluetooth. Maybe that wants me to do 2 words. Okay, it should be continuous, definitely. When I came back to my room, my computer was gone. Yeah, Gertie, for sure. The last stream definitely is connected to this stream, for sure. Someone might have, good, stolen. What do we need after stolen? It, good. Someone might have stolen it. Someone must have stolen it, right? I made dinner last night, but she didn't want to eat anything. She may not. What could you guess here? She may not have been hungry. Good. And the contraction, she may not have, that's not have, right? She may not have been hungry. The food may have been bad. No, just kidding. She may not have been hungry. Good. I have never seen her before. She might. What do you think here? I have never seen her before. She might not have been in a good mood. That's right. Good, Mr. F. She might be. We need a new student. Same. She might be a new student. Yeah, not changing. She might be a new student. Good. He won't answer his phone. What could you say here? So Pedro, instead of saying transformer student, we say she might be a new transfer student. Transfer. He must be sleeping. She might be new, Michaeli. Good. Yeah. He might be sleeping. Well, Saeed, that's a cryptic guess, but it would be he must have died instead of being dead. But yes, this, he must be sleeping. Good. And we have another one. He has a black eye. What happened to his eye? He must. So, Michaeli, because hearing is a sense, you don't use ing, so you could say he must not have heard his phone. Okay, he must not have heard his phone. Yeah. Or he must not hear his phone. Present tense. Yeah. Simple. He has a black eye. He must have been in a fight. Maya, he must be sleeping. So it's not about future, it's about in the moment, in progress, something that is happening at the moment of speaking. So it's not present continuous for future, it's continuous, a guess about something in progress, okay, happening in the moment. He must have been in a fight. Good. Pedro, he could have been indifferent to your phone calls, we would say. Yeah. Good. Okay. I went to a new restaurant last night. Now it's my favorite restaurant. Wow, it must. What do you guys think for J? It must have been delicious. Musta. Must have often in speaking sounds like musta. Kind of like mustard, the sauce, but musta. It must have been delicious. It must have been delicious. And sometimes native speakers say delish. Delish. Must have been delish. Again, this is an example of like a good experience that someone has and using must for your guess because it's a good experience. Okay? He hasn't shaved in a week. He might. Be growing a beard. Yeah. I think that sounds good. It's a process, so I've heard. He might grow a beard. We need the continuous because it's in progress. He might be growing a beard. Yeah. Good. He might be growing a beard. Okay, so that was it for those examples, but we still have a good 12 minutes, so I'm going to give you a few more examples, and you guys can do a little bit more practice with me. Give me one moment. Give me reasons. Okay, so in this case, it says perfect infinitive, but if you guys want to do guesses in the present or the continuous, that's fine, okay? I'm totally fine with that. So I'm gonna give you guys some situations. Let's think of some reasons, some guesses. Okay, so I'll show you the situation and you guys can give me a guess. Let me make this bigger. Okay, first situation. Your friend's left leg is in a cast. Does everyone know what a cast is? Mr. F, you must know what a cast is. My guess for you, because that's a good guess. He might have had an accident. Yeah. She must have had an accident. Yes. So that's good. It's not wrong. A lot of people, instead of saying had an accident, we say being in an accident. But like I said, your answers are correct. Yeah, your friend's left leg is in a cast. So he must have been in an accident. Vladimir, a cast is a list of actors, yes, in a different sentence, but because we're talking about a body part, It's the white hard shell that a doctor puts on you after you get hurt for your bones to heal. Okay? It's like paper mache, a hard cast. He must have broken his leg. He must have injured it. Good. She might have been in a snowboarding accident. Context. Yes, Pedro, context will tell you. He must have been fed up with his job. He might have fallen down. Good. Okay, good. Look at number 4. Your best friend quit her job at a busy restaurant. Yeah, it does. It's casting a fishing rod too. The action of casting and then reeling it up. Your best friend quit her job at a busy restaurant. She must have been tired. She could have found a better one. Good, Pedro. Yeah. He might have been fed up with his job. Good. Does everyone know the meaning of fed up? If you don't, fed up, it's a good vocabulary, just means annoyed. Okay? When you're over something, over it, I'm over it. I don't want to do it anymore. Yeah. She must have been tired of serving. Noir, don't forget of. She must have been tired of serving. Saeed. He must have been overwhelmed by his boss. Good. She must not have liked it. Good. It must be too hard, you could say. It must be too hard. So you can do past guessing, present guessing. Good. He might not have had a good salary. Michaeli, good. Just don't forget have had. He might not have had a good salary. Kadeshi, she might not be earning enough money. Good. Be earning. He might have found a better job. That's a good guess. Gertie, he might have been tired to receive. Okay, good, Gertie. You would say he might have been tired of receiving bad tips. Poor tips is okay. But you say tired of receiving, Gerund, poor tips. She might have won the lottery. Yes. She must have a baby, if that's what you mean. Yeah. She must have found a better tie. We could say tired serving people. She could be tired of serving people. Minions, she must have been annoyed. Yes, Pedro, that could have been the case, unfortunately. Abu, she must be. Yeah, she must have started a program, or she must have started studying, you could say. She may have been lazy. Good. All good guesses. What about number 5? Your mother has decided to move to Europe after a trip to Italy. JB, this is a continuation of last week's stream, and it's about modals of certainty. In the past, present, continuous. She could have gotten a better job. Has gotten, has to. Yeah, we only really use that in present. I mean, some people say she has to have gotten a better job, but it's more common to just use must for the past. She might have moved to another city. Hello, Asaldullah. She must have liked the culture. Good, Cherry, yeah. That's right, Pedro. She might have found her soulmate. She must have loved Italy. Yeah. She may have loved living there. She may have loved being there. She could have liked the European lifestyle. She could have liked the European lifestyle. She might have met someone. You guys are giving really good guesses. She might have eaten some delicious pizza in Italy. Manifi, so not should, but my mother might have found a boyfriend in Italy. Good. Okay, what about this one? I'll just make it a little bit bigger. Your little sister tried snowboarding, but she never wants to do it again. She might have fallen down many times. JB, she might have found a job there. She might feel healthier there. She might have felt perfectly at home there. Great guesses, definitely. Good guess, Noir. She might have found her ancestors, definitely. Cherry, she could have had a bad experience. Yeah. She might have had a bad experience with it. Thanks, JB. Glad you're enjoying it. She must have found it boring. Yeah, I don't know why. Snowboarding is the best, but I am a little biased. She might have gotten, you could say she might have been too scared, or it might have scared her. It might have scared her. She might have gotten scared by it. Yeah, definitely. She might have been scared of snowboarding. She must have found it dangerous. Great guesses, great guesses. We've got time for some more. So let's do these next two. Okay, first situation. Sorry, my head is in the way. But the situation is your roommate feels very excited after going on a blind date. Do you guys know what a blind date is? Those are all good guesses about the snowboarding, yeah. She must have found, you would say JB, oh good, you corrected it. She must have found it bad for her joints. She could have gotten hurt. Yep. Yeah, a date with a stranger usually when a friend sets you up. He might have met a beautiful girl. Yeah. He might have met his grandmother there. Maybe. Yeah, she must have found her soulmate. Good. She fell in love. There you go, Kadesha. 100% fact. He must have found his future girl, or you could say his dream girl. She might have had a good time. She must have had a good time, yeah. She must have met a perfect partner. Good. Okay. Next is the opposite situation. What do you guys think here? Your other roommate feels very angry after going on a blind date. Your other roommate feels very angry after going on a blind date. What could the reasons be here? A couple more reasons before we end. Do you guys know what it means to be stood up? The date must have disrespected her. Yeah, that's a good reason to be angry for sure. Your roommate must have been stood up. Do you guys know what that means? Stood up? Miriam, good. What does it mean? Can you explain to the group? He must have been stood up. Good, JB. Stood up. Didn't show up for the date. Yeah. Ghosted is the slang term these days. To ghost someone is to not go at all. He must have been ghosted, or she must have been ghosted. Or what, she must have found him disgusting. That's kind of sad, but yeah. He may have met an annoying person, you would say, Nawar, an annoying person. Saeed, he might have trusted the pictures too much. She must have been in a bad situation. Yeah. Good language, Maya. She must have been bitterly disappointed. Could have been because of a boring date. Yeah. Good. All right. Minions, a blind date is like when you go on a date with someone and you don't know the person first. Usually maybe a friend sets you up with this person. Yeah. Maybe, Mr. F, maybe. Okay. All right. So, as you can see, it's 4 o'clock. So, just for fun, these examples, and good job on your guessing. Lots of really good guessing. Hopefully listening to me do all of the reductions all the time. This helps with when you are out in the real world and you're hearing these reductions. Again, I will share this document with you guys so you can go over it in your own time and review and maybe put your own examples on the document, and you can read through the reductions again. Okay? So, yeah, I will sort that out and put it on the chat, and just give me a couple minutes to do that. And yeah, I guess until next week. I'll be back again next Tuesday, 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Next week is me talking about agreement and disagreement, like using so and to and neither and either. Okay, so very useful. Hopefully you guys have a great week. Enjoy yourselves. Have a good sleep. And yeah, thanks for being in the chat with me. It was fun. Have a good day. Bye.